Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Today's session is crucial conversations using micro-messages to my advantage, to your advantage. Now, introducing myself, I'm currently working as a WebSphere message broker. I'm MQL3, L3 manager in IBM India Software Lab, close to about 17 plus years of experience. I'll just invite my panelists here. Sri Lakshmi, who is senior manager with VMware. She's close to 15 plus years of experience, and she's the diversity lead at VMware. Welcome, Sri Lakshmi. I'd like to invite Surajit Chakravarti, who is program director with IBM India Software Lab, taking care of WebSphere development. He's close to 21 plus years of experience, and he's done his BS and MTech from US in electrical engineering. So, now before we start with what exactly are micro-messages, I'd just like to take a few minutes to tell you what are you going to learn in the next 45 minutes to 1 hour. Now this session is going to focus on the part with subtle messages. Subtle messages have on the leadership, and it shows the leadership excellence. Now when we talk about messages, you know, there is a person called sender, there is somebody called a receiver. Now, these subtle messages, most of the times, the sender is not aware that he or she is sending the message. The receiver is not aware that he or she is actually receiving the message. So most of the time, these are subtle messages. And what are these messages? What are the various things which we have to see when we talk about those messages? These are the tone of our voice, our eye contact, the hand gestures, body language, all those things, you know, they come in picture. And when a person is not aware that he or she is sending the message, when another person is not aware, may not be aware, but the message gets sent, the message gets received, and it also gets acted on. So in a sense, though there, and if we take care of just 10 people in one room, talking for about 1 hour, and can you imagine how many messages get sent in that 1 hour by 10 people who are in that meeting room? Lakhs, is it too much? It's about 1,000, close to 1,200 to 2,400 messages which get sent. Now, there was a study done by MIT, you know, on what are these, how do we decode these messages? And what was figured out is, you know, we all worry about, we all know about what are our deadlines, what are the schedules, we are all after our schedules and deadlines, and those are the big elephants, whereas we just ignore those billions and billions of ants which pass by. So these are all the neglected ants. So this session is not about those elephants. This session is about those ants. And we have to take care of those ants. What are those ants? Now, I'll just say, it's not just in the words, you know, there's just one particular sentence, which is a 7-word sentence. I didn't say you stole the book. Now, my colleagues will help me in telling those sentences in 6 different ways. And it is how those, the way we are going to say those 6 words, 7 words in 6 different ways, will actually change we will change the way the receiver is going to receive the message. So it's all about the micro messages. So I'll just move on to the next slide.
I didn't say you stole the book.
I'm not the person who has said it.
I didn't say you stole the book.
So that's a statement of denial.
I didn't say you stole the book.
I probably believe it, but I didn't verbalize it.
I didn't say you stole the book.
You probably are not the culprit. I didn't say you stole the book.
I didn't say you stole the book.
Maybe you took it for reference. I'm not saying you stole the book.
I didn't say you stole the book.
Or maybe you take something else, and I didn't actually mention that it was a book. So, it's just one simple sentence. I didn't say you stole the book. And the way the Sri Lakshmi and Surjit have said it in 6 different ways actually changes the entire meaning of the sentence, the way you guys have understood it. So I was telling the meaning, but the way you all are the receivers of this, the way you have understood it. Actually, the way you have said it actually has changed the meaning of this one sentence. So coming to the main topic of the session, micro-messages. So what exactly are these micro-messages? These are the subtle messages which tells others, the receivers who are receiving it, what we think and what we perceive about them. Now, there are 2 aspects to micro-messages. The green side is a good one, red side is a bad one. So there are micro-inequities and micro-advantages. So the positive subtle messages which encourages and enhance the performance of employees, they are micro-advantages. Those negative messages which impede and discourage the employees and devalue the performance of those employees, those are micro-inequities. So I'll just, I'll just give an example of my 9-year-old daughter who does not understand what is micro-inequity, and she draws very well, and she's got lots of awards in sketches and drawing and all that. So one fine day, she came to me with her drawing. So if this is her drawing, I'm busy typing something, and then she came from the side. Mama, look at this. I have drawn a very good drawing. Look at this. She just came and showed me something, and I'm busy typing. Wow, that's excellent. I didn't even bother to have a look at what she has drawn. And I probably will not be able to really show how she behaved, but her. You didn't bother to even have a look, and you are saying it's excellent. So if words were that darn powerful, then obviously I said excellent means a lot, but I am not even looking at her. And I said, excellent. So obviously she's 9-year-old, but she understood. She understood that it's not just she didn't even bother to have a look at what I have done, and she's saying, wow, it's great work. So this is just your messages from my side, which got to her. So there are 5 dimensions of micro-messages, which briefly I have spoken about, those tone, gestures, our body language, words we use, all those things, etc. Move on to the next one. Now, once we understand what are these micro-inequities, micro-messages, micro-inequities as well as micro-advantages, we need to understand what are the different micro-messages, micro-inequities which we are sending to our teams. Now, after you have understood, you can obviously take action on that. And at times, it's also seen that the performance of your employees has nothing to do with the lack of skills. It's more to do with what are the kind of micro messages probably that person has received from managers, peers, everyone around in the company. Now, it's also a study which has found that the negative impacts of micro messages are lesser than the advantages which micro advantage can give to a person. So if you become aware that a person has received lots of micro inequities, you can obviously counter it with giving that micro advantage to that particular person. So it's quite powerful in that way. Now, this will be done through a role play. So the scenario is that Surjit is the manager, and he's going to have a quarterly feedback session with the employee, Sri Lakshmi. Watch out for the micro inequities in this play. And Surjit is neutral towards Sri Lakshmi. Their styles and interests probably vary. So let's go ahead with the role play. Over to Surjit and Sri Lakshmi.
Hi, Sri Lakshmi. Good afternoon. Come on in, please.
Hey, hi, Sujit.
Hey,
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. So one of the things I wanted to do today in our meeting is have some feedback, and how do you think your quarter went so far?
Hey, yeah, actually, I wanted to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
It's been going fine for me, and I think I've been doing a great job. As you are seeing with our current product, I have written almost 5,000 lines of code.
Yeah.
And with a very good quality. I have not seen many bugs though, except for a few which during system testing they have found. But I think we are doing good there as well with the quality.
Yeah,
So-
you're absolutely right. So I think, you did a great job. But one of the things I want you to focus on is the quality aspect. As you know, that's the most important thing. You know how important quality is to our organization. So just make sure you're very careful and, watching that space. Okay?
Yeah, quality, can you just elaborate on that? Because as I said, I have been doing good in terms of that as well.
Yeah, sure. I think all you have to do is if you just look at the last 3 weeks project report, right, you'll know what I'm talking about. Plus, don't forget to talk to the tech lead. I think he'll give you some good inputs. I think you should be able to figure this out, okay?
Okay, I have another thing, Sujat.
Yeah, sure.
So, can I take some stretched assignment? I would be able to do that along with my current work, is what I think.
Stretch assignments, I don't know, Srilakshmi. I think, really, I want you to focus on the quality aspect at this time, okay? Because, that's really the key to your success. This is where I want you to, really focus and do a good job, okay?
Okay, Sujat, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Srilakshmi.
So what's the observation from your side? Any observations? No eye contact. There's nothing technically wrong with Surjit is saying. Obviously, quality is important and all that, but what we are trying to say is he could have done a better job. And I don't know, Sri Lakshmi probably was not so disappointed, but I would get disappointed in this scenario. I'm talking about stretch assignment. My manager does not want to give me a stretch assignment. So obviously he could have done it better. A lot of micro inequities which went from Surjit to Sri Lakshmi here. So was Surjit attentive also? I think he was looking who is going out of the room, playing with his mobile and all that, right? So first thing is, yes, it's all in the body language, your micro message, all those 5 dimensions of micro messages that we just showed on the charts. Now, when Sri Lakshmi spoke about schedules not being met, it's also, though he was fine, he could have made it much better. When she spoke about stretch assignments, he could have done much better. He could please focus first on quality and then move on to the next one. So, with that we'll move on. When we are talking about micro message, there are actually three players in this. There is sender who is sending the message. There is receiver who is receiving the message. And there is observer. Observer is a neutral party who is there. If we have, in a teleconference session or in a group meeting or one-on-one or a manager has called for a meeting, it's a group setting. There are mostly 2 people or 3 people talking at the same time, and then most of the others will be observers. And they actually can influence also to a certain extent. Now, who do you think has the greatest power in influencing changes when micro inequities are sent in a group setting? Let's see it in our next. So this scenario, and Surjit and Sri Lakshmi, they are in a meeting room. It's morning time there. Surjit leads the global and support organizations. Sri Lakshmi is the development lead. Sujata, I will be the support lead. And this PM time in where I'm located. I'm remotely located here. So Surjit and Sri Lakshmi are in discussion about resource reallocation about a project task. Now, suddenly they realize that Sujata will need to be called out for this, for finding the solution, and Surjit checks if Sujata is available. Over to the third role play.
Hi, Srilakshmi.
Hey, hi, Sujit.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Is it
but
a
I
good
think,
morning?
I don't think it's.
I think you saw the
bad.
email.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I've been going through that since last night.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah,
So
I
just
got a
quick-
call last evening from the site when I was in the movie hall, and
You
I
were
had
in
to
a
come
movie
out.
hall?
Yeah, so I had to come
Oh my
out.
God. I can't imagine. This has to be the most disappointing evening.
Yeah, but after going through all the emails, I'm more worried now. I really don't know how to kind of tackle the issue.
Yeah, I
It's
think
very
we really have
serious.
to get in front of this customer, okay? So my suggestion is, let's pull together a plan to see how we can allocate a couple of people and really confront this
Yeah,
situation.
but the problem is we don't have the right skill sets. People who can work, they are already engaged with other projects. I don't think we can take a hit on that as well.
We don't have a choice here. I mean, this is an emergency situation, Sri Lakshmi. So we really have to have a couple of people.
Why don't we reach out to Sujata? She has a pretty big team. She must be able to help us out.
That's a good idea. So let me just see if she's online. 1 second. Yep, she is there.
It must be pretty late for her.
Yeah, but we are in an emergency here, right?
Okay.
So let me just see if she's here, okay? Hi, Sujata. Can you hear us?
Hi, Surjit. Good evening.
Hey, good morning to you. Never gets old, does
Good
it?
morning.
Sorry, good evening to you.
Hey, hi Sujata. Good evening. Sorry, we had to call you. It's pretty late for you.
Hi, Sri Lakshmi. Good morning.
Okay, so Sujata, Sri Lakshmi and myself, we were just, talking. I'm assuming you have seen the email, right? I mean, we have to do something about it. So thought, we should reach out to you as well. Okay?
Sujata, you must be having those skill sets, what we are talking in those emails, right?
Yes, I do have. Surjit, I think
just
I
one
have
second,
the
Sujata.
solution.
Just one
to-
second, Sujata. Just 1 second. So Sri Lakshmi, as we were saying, right? I mean, I can't
Call me,
imagine,
it's late night
what
and
was
nobody's
going on.
listening. Nobody's bothering to ask me
I
my
don't know what to
opinion.
do here. I mean, we have to get in front of the
Yeah,
customer.
yes, actually, Sujit, we should get
So, and I can't
response
imagine
soon.
the disappointment in your face. I mean, in the evening, you're watching a movie and this comes up.
Yeah.
This is like,
That's right. So
Hi,
what to do?
Surjit. I think I have
probably,
the-
I think,
I think I have
just
the
hold
solution.
on. Just hold on, Sujata. One
Yeah.
second.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, actually, this is a rare skill set. Definitely, we will have to work on that. I think Sujata was saying that she has some resources. Probably we will listen to her. And,
Yeah, Sujata, go ahead.
Hi, Surjit. Yeah, I have read all the mails. I think I have the solution to the issue which you are talking about. I have, my team is actually quite big and quite a few people are actually working off accurate sets and critical situations. But a lot of them, after I talk to Sri Lakshmi, I will figure out what are the real skill sets required, and I'll put someone on this job. And I think I will be able to handle it. My team will be able to handle it.
Yeah, that's great, Sujata. So I will work with you. So it's good to hear that you have the right skill sets. What I'll do is I'll catch up with you tomorrow, your daytime. I think it must be pretty late, I guess.
Yeah,
So
sure.
let her leave now that we have an answer.
Yep, okay.
So I'll work with her tomorrow and I'll come back to you with the solution.
Actively listen. I think this is very important, and the way we show through those 5 dimensions, we listen, we acknowledge. Somebody is talking, we do acknowledge in between. Yes, we are listening to the person who is talking. It's like if you start playing with your mobile or just walk around, look out of the door, or just keep on working on your laptop. It's not actually actively listening to what the other person is telling you. So this is the final role play which we'll be doing, feedback session micro advantage. So here, Sri Lakshmi is the manager who is going to have a quarterly feedback session with the employee, Sujata. Watch out how this feedback session is quite similar to the first one which Surjit and Sri Lakshmi had. So watch out for the micro messages which is being sent here. And in this case, Sri Lakshmi has good equation with Sujata, and they have got a few common interests as well.
Hey, hi Sujata. Good morning. Come on in.
Hi, Sri Lakshmi, how are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, so how was your weekend?
My weekend was fine. Sri Lakshmi, I would like to tell you, weekend I saw 2 great movies, Barfi and English Winglish. I
Hey,
think
good.
these are 2 lovely movies. You should go and see those movies.
Yeah, I've been planning, but I did not get a chance to go, so I think I should plan sometime. So, how do you think your last quarter went?
I think it went on it went on fine. I coded about 5,000 lines of code in C++ and Java, and it was okay, but I know the system testing team found a few defects and all, but because I don't think it was easy for me to find out all those issues. So only those issues which were not very, very evident were found by the system testing team. So I think overall I have done a pretty good job.
Yeah, I agree with you. So it was really good, and even I feel the same with respect to the work, whatever has gone in, and the quality aspect of it as well. I agree that I couldn't have found those issues in functional testing, But probably can we look at those system test cases and can we have those test cases, some of those things added into our unit testing so that we can avoid those issues in future releases?
Sure, sure, Sri Lakshmi.
Yeah, I think that
I'll
would be a
get
good
it.
idea, but otherwise you have really done a great job.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you, thank
Thanks
you.
for all the hard work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sri Lakshmi, I have one more request. I think I'm able to manage my time well and whatever I'm doing. So based on my skill sets and whatever is available, if you can talk to your peer managers and I do want to get into some stretch assignment.
Yeah, that's great. Actually, I've been thinking about that. Probably you can take a lead role on fixing these issues, whatever we have been finding through system testing. And meanwhile, I'll talk to my peer managers as well to find out what other assignments they have, wherein your skill set matches. I'll be working on that parallelly, but while I'm working into that, why don't you give a thought on how you can take a lead on fixing these issues?
Thank you. I think that will be very good.
Yeah, good.
I really
That's
wanted to
great.
get into stretch assignments.
Yeah, we will get into this one then. Yeah. Thanks a
Yeah.
lot. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day.
Sri Lakshmi, don't forget,
Yeah,
as I said,
actually, we should
Buffy
plan
and
sometime.
English,
Yeah,
very
next
nice
week,
movies.
Call you up. Over the weekend, we can plan.
Yes, yes, sure.
Yeah, thank you.
I'd like to go with you. Thank you.
Yeah, have a nice day.
So here, can you see the difference between the first one where Surjit was the manager, the bad manager, and sending those inequities to Sri Lakshmi, and here how Sri Lakshmi has behaved. So it's like it depends on the nature of relationships which a person has and the way the person communicates, all those things. Now watch out how Sri Lakshmi reacted to all those questions, one, those schedules and stretch assignments. And I think she's also equally worried about the quality and all that. She wants the employee to focus on that. But she understands MicroMessages, micro inequities and all that. So she has taken it, she has really taken all the, all the good things, what you should do as part of micro advantages. And here in this case now, micro advantage for one person could actually become micro iniquity for the other one. So here we also have to really we have to recognize, understand that, and see that we don't give micro advantage so that it really is going to become micro iniquity for a different person. So we really need to understand all these things in detail. Just to recap. So what are the 4 major things we want to talk about? First thing, it's not in the words, it's in the micro messages. It's about those 5 dimensions of micro messages that we need to be careful about. Don't forget those ants when you are thinking about those elephants. We all will we will worry about our schedules, deadlines, and all that. But there are billions of those neglected ants, so let's not neglect those ants and take care of them as well. Learn to identify, analyze all these micro messages we are sending, and the importance of observers. In lots of meetings, we are the observers, and we can make a difference if we say and we understand that there are micro messages which are going on in the group setting, right? So, as most of you already said, my observer has got a great role to play in these micro messages. Do we have time for questions? Any questions?
This is Bhumika from IBM, and that was a wonderful talk. I mean, you're doing it all the time, you just don't realize that there's actually some name given to it, like MicroMessages. I have a question around, you did some role plays about Surajit and Sri Lakshmi, right? I can okay. You did some role plays, and you talked, in several role plays, you gave a setting where you said that there could be one bias manager talking to, the employee. You gave another role play where the manager was doing really well and had a good relationship going with the employee. Now, can you talk about the micro messages? How can you turn around a situation where there are a lot of micro iniquities? How can you turn around the situation to your advantage? And this is a one-on-one talk. The manager has a bias with the employee. How can he still have a fair performance-related discussion? for
So
instance?
see, I would like Surjit and Sri Lakshmi to speak about their thoughts as well. But you know, I'll tell you one thing I think which I missed saying was most of the time it is unintentional, whatever the manager is sending to the employee. But a lot of times it is intentional and it is strategic and it is told to the employee with a lot of thought. So I want to give a clear message to my employee so that time I am aware that I am sending a micro message to the person, but I am giving it with thought. So it's like sometimes, for example, I'm just saying I want the person to improve, I mean something to do with quality and all. So obviously I am going to talk about that particular aspect. You know, we need to improve the quality. I think if I understand microinequity and I feel that in one of those dimensions, my tone of voice or, you know, I'm really becoming biased on that. If I as a manager, I'll take care of that. As a microinequity, if I am the receiver of the microinequity, I think most what I can do is I can try to make my manager understand or, you know, obviously with taking care of all those micro advantages and knowing that he or she is my manager. So I would like to hear Sri Lakshmi and Sujit's thoughts on this as well.
So Sujata, if I can add. Bhumika, great question. Okay, so micro-inequity there. I think the first thing this does is gives you a language to confront these issues. These are all around us. Then I would also like to classify there are 3 levels of it. The first level is awareness. Hopefully we are walking out of this room being aware of it, having a nomenclature around it. The second one is being a practitioner. So once you start practicing, people notice it because we are all observers. The third and the highest level is probably the intervention part. So I think that's the way you can kind of look at it. So if there is a bias, first is you are aware of that, yes, there is a bias, either against you or you are biased towards somebody. Second is trying to practice that, right? And third is interventions. And we had this role play where Sri Lakshmi actually caught on that the manager understands that there is a bias in her favor. So what she did was, she took that idea, gave credit to the other person also. So that was a micro advantage given. And net-net, it's about, you know, delivering the good stuff to the business. That's what it was. So come up with a solution which is actually a solution forward.
Anita Bedappa from IBM again. So I think one of the comments I had here was it's important to draw a line. It's a very fine balance, whereas the micro inequity is there. It's not intentional, like you said. But it's important to actually maybe constructively ask this. And I think a lot of this discussion has gone around manager and employee, right? So I think it's okay when you think there is a bias or there's a lot of micro inequity. Sometimes it's not intentional, but openly asking about it is totally okay, I think. I think that's something that we didn't discuss over here. It's appropriate, I think, to keep a healthy relationship, to ask clearly, saying, I'm sensing this, I just want to be sure. And maybe the receiver might just take a step back and say, oops, I didn't mean to, and maybe openly respond back, or might pretend and take and hide and say, no, is that what it is? But at least you made them aware that you were sensing that. I think that's another important aspect of micro messages. Either it's an inequity or it's an advantage, just to be sure on that front, right?
Hi, I am Pallavi Agrawal from First Rain. Is it about getting first impression of an employee on manager?
No.
Or I am perceiving it wrong?
No, it is not about the first impression. It is about our day-to-day behavioral aspects as well, as an employee or a manager or anywhere, right? So it's about, as Sujit said, it's about awareness. Because not just in our environment in the organization, even in our other relationships as at home or maybe with our friend circle, as Sujata kind of gave one of the examples of she and her daughter, it is similar, like how we are kind of engaging with the other person whom we are talking to, or how kind of we can give the expression or the feeling to the other person that we are listening and it is a genuine kind of what we are doing there. It's not just for the sake of listening.
Yeah, but I want to add to my question that let's say we are having a long conversation and I have to make an eye contact with you and I'm feeling uncomfortable to have a long eye contact with you. So how to manage that situation?
See, it's not just about eye contact. At the same time, like in one of the role plays, while we were talking, it's not about the comfort or uncomfort level what we had, but Sujit was trying to kind of just check his emails or play with his mobile. Those are the behavioral aspects which I have seen in my own team. Maybe they are not doing intentionally, they may be just checking for the important email, but what I mean is there is nothing which is so important when you are talking to a person for 5-10 minutes, which can wait. So if you are just checking the email and talking to you, definitely you will not feel that I am listening to you or I am able to give you the right answer. So those are the aspects, and especially we being on the both the sides. Maybe you are a team member and you are a manager for other people. So if we start practicing that and can start showing that to everyone, definitely we will be able to define this micro messages clearly to everyone in the team.
Thank you.
There's a question in the back here.
Suppose you do have a person that has performance-related issues, right? Do micro messages work in that case, or do you have to give a macro message? Also, someone with a performance issue will always see the conversation as a micro inequity. So how do you handle those kind of situations?
Okay, can I take that? Sure, it is not important. It's how it is said, right? That's, I think, the central message we're trying to carry here. So even if it's a performance issue, you're giving a bad message, saying it with the right intention, the right micro advantages can help. It doesn't need to, you don't have to, sugarcoat that thing, right? I think what people do appreciate is being straight and being honest about it. It's how it is being said, not so much, what the words were.
And what I've seen works is good instantly, right? There's an incident that caused that feedback. Do it instantly.
Absolutely, absolutely. The timeliness with the right data, right eye contact, and having the listening skills to say if the person has something to say, right? Ultimately, what it's all about is it's how the messages are perceived on the other side. And what you're trying to do is make sure that the message is perceived exactly the way you wanted it to. Right? If you can say, yeah, that was an excellent picture, that doesn't mean anything. But say, wow, that's excellent. There is a difference.
I think I'll just like to, time is I think over, so I'd like to thank my panelists, Surjit and Sri Lakshmi, and thank you all for attending this session. I think after this we break for lunch.